Welcome back to the Underage Packers podcast. Me and Big B here. We wanted to give you a quick little video recapping the Bears game. Today, we wanted to give you our surprise performance, a star performance, and a meh performance from some Packers yesterday in their great win over their rivalry against the Chicago Bears. Big B, that was quite the fun game, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was pretty fun. Frustrating at some points, but otherwise a great win.
Yeah, that was probably the most fun game of the season because of how well things worked in the second half. So many great players making great plays. And obviously the golden moment that will hopefully be remembered for ages to come is Aaron Rodgers saying, "I still own you" to the Bears fans. I just have not been able to get over that. That is so it's so immature, childish, whatever, unsportsmanlike for an MVP NFL quarterback, and that's what makes it awesome. I do not care. Of course, some millennials on Twitter, some angry people are like, "Oh wow, that's kind of a mean thing to say," and they're Packers fans. I'm like, well, he wasn't trying to be nice. We'll talk about it more in depth as much as you can on our episode that we'll have coming out sometime later this week. But how tough it has to be to be a Bears fan. I'm almost starting to feel some apathy, empathy, sympathy, whatever one it is. I can't relate to them, but I feel bad for them.
I don't. I do not at one bit.
I would never feel bad for like Vikings fans, but Bears fans, I'm like, how miserable that must be to have two singular human beings make your imagine since 1994. Okay, the Bears have had to look at the Packers on their schedule every single year, and in their mind, they might say, "We're going 16-0 and we're winning the Super Bowl. This is our year." They know subconsciously that they're probably going to lose that game, at least one of them. That has to be just so painful. And unfortunately for them, they're going to have to add another 20 years on that. Or maybe Jordan Love only makes it to 16. I'm not sure. Now, let's actually get to the topic of this video, as awesome as it is to talk about Aaron Rodgers owning the Chicago Bears. Let's start off with our star performance, and I'm going to go with Aaron Rodgers. Look, on the game-sealing drive, all of that second half, he was making some great throws. It's exciting to watch. No matter if the offense is as efficient as it was last year, no matter if Aaron Rodgers is playing at an MVP form every single snap like he was last year, it was exciting to watch this game. Big B, who do you have as your star performer?
I'm gonna go with my boy, Kenny Clark. He single-handedly destroyed that game for Chicago. I feel like every positive play for the Packers defense, Kenny Clark had something to do with that play. I got a couple sacks on there, and I don't know. That could probably be one of his best games of his career so far.
It's considerable. I haven't been able to look back at my TV broadcast, my recorded DVR game, as what I'd like to call film analysis. But yeah, those two sacks at the end of the game, how he wraps up on Justin Fields and able to tackle him, it's pretty fun and exciting to watch Kenny Clark. And that's why you pay him. I am so internally grateful that we have Kenny Clark, who's probably only 15 years old right now or something like that. He's really young. We still got him for the next 4 years. So Kenny Clark,
and the dude is fast as hell, though.
Yeah,
he's running down Justin Fields. Justin Fields is not slow. Kenny Clark is just a monster.
Yeah, I'm so glad we have him. For my surprising performance, this is kind of easy pick here, but for me, it's Rasul Douglas, who Packers just signed from the Cardinals practice squad 1 or 2 weeks ago. He comes in, and Joe Barry says after the very first drive, he looks at Isaac Adam and says, "Isaac, I know your nickname is Ike, but I'm saying Yike. You need to get out of here. Stealing that one from Ross Huglum. But Isaac Adams not do so well. He throws him Rasul Douglas, a veteran for what it's worth, but has been with the team for a very short time. He's able to go out there. He's not anything spectacular, but Eric Stokes and Rasul Douglas pretty much doing a pretty fair job against the Bears offense. That's really exciting to see. And Eric Stokes would be another surprise performer for me. Stokes, he went from being the guy that could, possibly he'll ease himself into the lineup. Maybe midway through, he'll be a consistent starter. He was Packers cornerback number 1 this week and was last week cornerback number 2 for the majority of the game. And then cornerback 1 when Kevin King went out. So Stokes and Douglas, and then Sullivan as well, who hasn't been getting much talk. Great job by the cornerback trio. Big B, who's one of your surprise performers?
I'm gonna go with Jonathan Garvin. Talk about a dude who is making most of his opportunities with Preston, who got hurt early in that game, and Darius out. Just making most of every opportunity he's getting. Mike Smith said that he's going to be a damn good football player earlier this offseason. And I really like what Jonathan Garvin's doing. I can definitely see him being a key piece next year if Zadarius and Preston are cut.
Yeah, a lot of great points by you there. Specifically that last one you mentioned was Zadarius most likely gone with his contract. Preston, with how they reworked his deal, he might have a better chance at staying on the team, or it might be toast. I'm not sure. But a lot of positions, not just outside linebacker, are going to have quite a bit of turnover. A lot of guys that the Packers are going to have to let go. So Jonathan Garvin, a lot of other of those guys, similar to his situation, being drafted in the 7th round, they're going to get some valuable experience now with a lot of injuries. And then hopefully next year they're able to take over. And yeah, like you mentioned, he's getting a lot of playing time and he's really doing well with it. He had a really good play on Justin Fields. He said, "You ain't scrambling on me, fool." So I'm a big Jonathan Garvin fan. Have been since ever since week 3 against the Saints last year. So number 53 season, man.
Oh boy.
Now we go to the mess side of things. And, there's really there's more situations where you can say, okay, that's quite a bit of mess. You have pretty much full first quarter on offense, the red zone defense. For me, I'm going to say my meh performance was Robert Tonyan. And I had him as my meh last week. But it's, I don't look. I still think he's a good football player. The special teams protection isn't playing a factor in this like it did last week. I don't even know if he was out there field goal blocking. But in the run game, for Matt LaFleur to talk about why he was asked, why isn't Tonyan getting these snaps, why isn't he getting these receiving opportunities, for Matt LaFleur's answer to that to be, oh, well, we're using them in different situations. We have injuries among the offensive line. We need him to help out in blocking. And then Robert Tonyan to go out there and suck at blocking. And the reason I think, because he was obviously a red zone weapon for Aaron Rodgers. 8 touchdowns, tied for first in the league. Or was it 10 touchdowns?
It was 11.
11 touchdowns. So yeah, he's a red zone weapon, and it seemed like all the time he's just wide open. I don't know if this year defenses have adjusted just by respecting him more, or they figured out that the touchdowns he was scoring, the big plays that he was getting all of last year, there was a certain pattern to it that they're able to read, or Aaron Rodgers just not looking his way, whatever. Not doing good as a run blocker right now, and not getting his opportunities in the receiving game. Big B, who's your meh performer for this game?
I would go with the officials, but I don't think that would really count here. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go with Bryce Newman. He didn't have a terrible game. Like, he wasn't god awful, but he had a couple missed blocks, just didn't seemed like he settled in well during that game. And I mean, Bears defensive line is fantastic, but after how well he's been performing so far this year, it's a mad performance.
Yeah, that one early on where he just completely let Akeem Hicks, and then another play where he just Khalil Mack just arms wide open, come on in. He's been doing all right. His run blocking grade is actually really good. But he definitely has his moments as a fourth round draft pick, though. Like you mentioned, he's been performing pretty well. Come in there, start day one as fourth round draft pick, taking the job from veteran Lucas Patrick. It's been exciting to watch. It's been hard to watch at sometimes. Bryce Newman easing into his starting role at right guard. But I think that's all we have for you today, recapping some performances from the Packers-Bears game. We'll be back later on this week, like I mentioned earlier, to fully recap this game and then talk about the game on Sunday against the Washington football team. Big B, any last thoughts here?
Dean Lowry is going to go to the Hall of Fame after that performance. Dean Lowry is a machine. I love me some Dean Lowry, especially after all the haters hating on him past couple of seasons. Let's go, Dean Lowry fan club over here.
He's stacking some good performances, two in a row. I like what I'm seeing from Dean the Machine.
Oh, yeah.
Make sure you subscribe to us here on this YouTube channel. Follow us on all the social medias. We'll see you later. Aaron Rodgers owns the Chicago Bears. Go Pack Go.